Now when Mars gets into the 5th house from Ketu, this is the placement where Ketu is a detachment from that area of life, but Mars is focus, attention. So competition, competitive situations, enemies, inimical forces. So this is a person who wants to take on competition without hesitation. Somebody says something to me, I'll give it back to them. Maybe in your own way, maybe in your own language. That language may not be as rough as somebody else. Sometimes it may be. So it changes from person to person. However, you will not take you will not go back when you make a commitment. You will adhere to it, and you like competition. You excel in competition, and you do well in competition in your own way. Different people will have their different ways of how they approach competition. So there is a very competitive spirit. However, this is also a placement where if the other party is not as competitive as you or as pushy as you, you give up energy or you give up the attention and focus very soon, because you feel that person is not competitive enough. That person doesn't put in so much forward when I'm competing with on something. What is the point? So it's like you and your friend both want to compete with each other when you're sitting for a competitive exam. Who will score more? But you find that friend is not spending too much time on studies, wasting time roaming around with friends. So then you also lose that interest in the competition. You feel, oh, and he's not up to the mark. He's not putting in attention. What is the point of me putting in so much effort? So you forget that using that competition, you wanted to excel and you wanted to get good marks for yourself. You are now focusing on competition. So unless there is a strong competition, many times you don't get that kind of a success, because you truly thrive in competitive situations. In those situations that people are inimical to you and they're pushing you, and so you may get detached very easily. On the other hand, sometimes you may also get detached when you're not getting the fruits of that competition very soon. So you're in a situation at work, you have an interdepartmental challenge with somebody. You're always standing up for your department, you're always standing up for your team. As a leader, you're standing up for your team members, but you find that you are not getting the fruits of your labor, you're not getting the results. You also get detached. You also don't keep defending your team members. So this is maybe that energy, yin and yang energy again, which Mars and Ketu from each other will reflect. This can also lead to health challenges, because sometimes you overindulge in something. So you overindulge in maybe slightly adventurous activities or dynamic activities. So there may be falls from bikes, falls from the stairs, small accidents, small cuts, small burns here and there, stress, all those things which are related to high activity, not taking care of yourself. So you're detached from the health results and you get into the more negative results from your health. And so this person overall may complicate their lives unnecessarily because of either challenges, legal disputes, problems, or health issues, or unnecessarily focusing energy where they should not focus as much energy, especially because it may not yield them those kinds of gains. So sometimes on a day-to-day basis, the person may have a lot of drive and ambition to succeed. However, they should be mindful of their health. They should be mindful of where the workplace dynamics are, so that they don't burn themselves in the heat of the moment in those competitive situations, but are more balanced how they are serving, what kind of a team environment they have faced, and they should keep a more friendly atmosphere rather than an adversarial one.